So many spiritual teachings tell us to let go, right? To release our attachments. But what about the one that feels, well, the most human of all? The desire to live a long life. It's this deep down feeling almost every single one of us has, that wish for just a little more time. And that really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? Is that feeling just a fear of the unknown? Are we just selfishly clinging to our existence? Or could it actually be something bigger, something more profound? Well, the perspective we're digging into today has a really powerful and, frankly, pretty surprising answer to that. So instead of just slapping a label on this desire, good or bad, the source material we're looking at does something really interesting. It says to understand how we feel about the end of life, we have to rewind, like all the way back to the very, very beginning.
That's right. The secret to understanding our desire to live isn't found by staring at death. It's found by looking at the incredible, forgotten miracle of our own birth. The idea here is that our arrival wasn't some random accident. It was a monumental undertaking, a grand project.
Okay, so what exactly was this grand project? Well, it's described as this epic journey, just filled with unbelievable risks and challenges that every single one of us had to overcome just to be here, listening to this right now.
Let's just try to wrap our heads around this journey for a second. First, there's what the source calls a strict immigration process, basically getting through all the cosmic red tape just to enter this world. Then, you have the astronomical odds of conception itself, a total miracle. After that, surviving 9 months in a dark cave, this solitary, uncertain space. But honestly, that last step, that's the one that's truly staggering.
And this right here is the central puzzle. After going through all of that, after overcoming every single obstacle, we're hit with a total memory wipe. Every bit of past knowledge, all our previous experiences, any wisdom we might have had, gone. Just poof. We land here as a completely blank slate. So the obvious question is, why? Why on earth would anyone go through that incredible effort, take on all that risk, only to have to start over from absolute scratch? It seems completely backward, right? Unless there's a really good reason for it. And this is where we get to the core metaphor. That total memory reset, it wasn't a bug. It was a feature. It was an absolutely essential step for the real purpose of this whole journey. Here's the thinking behind it. Imagine if you came here with all your old baggage, your past wins, your failures, all the old traumas. Your ability to learn anything new would be totally compromised. That memory wipe is like getting a clean OS install for your soul. It's the only way you can absorb the lessons of this life without bias. And that leads to this incredibly powerful idea about why we're here. This world isn't just some random place we ended up. It's a school. It's a perfectly designed learning environment where our souls are meant to grow by taking on a full curriculum of challenges, joys, and lessons. And boom, here's where it all clicks into place. If life is a school, then that desire to live longer suddenly looks completely different. It stops being a fearful, clingy attachment. Instead, it becomes the earnest, healthy desire of a good student who just wants to stay in class, to finish all the courses and graduate having learned everything they came here to learn. Okay, so if life is a school, let's talk about what that means for getting older. Because this metaphor totally flips the script on how we view aging.
Our culture usually paints aging as this sad process of decline and loss, right? But with this new perspective, it's the exact opposite. Getting older isn't about decay, it's a promotion. You're advancing to the higher grades where a whole new, more advanced part of the curriculum finally opens up to you.
And think about that for a second. There are just some lessons you literally cannot learn when you're 20. There's a type of wisdom you can only access when you hit 60. Perspectives that only become clear at 90. Each decade of your life unlocks an exclusive set of courses, a whole new level of understanding you couldn't get before. The source puts this so powerfully with this quote. It's suggesting that dying young isn't just tragic because of the time you lose, but because of the education you miss out on. It's like being a brilliant student who drops out of college right before taking the senior seminars that hold all the deepest truths. Subjects like what true gratitude really feels like after a lifetime of experiences, or a deep, bone-deep understanding of life and death that only comes after you've seen it all. These are the advanced placement courses, and they require a full, long life to truly master. So let's bring this all home. What does this all mean for you, for me, right here and now? Let's boil it down to the key takeaways.
First, that deep-seated wish for a long life? You can reframe that as your soul's healthy ambition to finish its education. Second, just remember that the fact you are even here is a miracle, a victory you won after an epic journey. And third, aging isn't something to fear. It's a promotion to embrace, because it's unlocking whole new levels of wisdom for you.
Honestly, if you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Your lifespan is not just a ticking clock. It is sacred time, given to you for the profound purpose of learning and growing. And that leaves us with one final thought to sit with. If every decade truly unlocks new wisdom, what unwritten chapters are waiting in your future? What lessons, what perspectives, what incredible truths are just waiting for you at 60 or 80 or even 100? Things your current self can't even begin to imagine.